Hello everyone. I am explaining about the fact syllabus. There is two exams, fact and fact plus. Both are having the same syllabus, but the difficulty level of the questions is different in the exam. So fact is forensic aptitude and caliber test. So same two exams are there from the same syllabus. Fact is for those who finished or pursuing master's degree, and for the fact plus you have to qualify NET, GATE or GPAT along with the PG. So either pursuing masters or finished masters, they are eligible for the fact exam, and along with the masters, if one qualified for NET, GATE or GPAT, then they are eligible for the fact plus, which are forensic screening tests to use it to recruit in the forensic laboratories, especially central labs, central forensic, state forensic and regional forensic laboratories. So the structure of the exam is two sections: section A 50 marks, section B 75 marks. So section A is common for all the subjects, but the section B is having different specialized subjects. So you have to select any one from the seven list of subjects, which include forensic ballistics and physics, document examination, digital forensics, chemistry or chemical sciences, biological sciences, psychology and crime scene management. These are the seven subjects. You have to choose any one subject for the either fact or fact plus. So you can write both fact and fact plus two exams, but in the same subject. For example, you are finished your masters in forensic science and also qualified UGC NET. Then if you want to attempt any exam, then like chemistry, then you can write, you should write both fact exam in chemistry and fact plus in chemistry only, not like fact in biology, fact plus in chemistry. You have to select only one subject for both fact and fact plus, and you can attempt any number of times. Like in the previously 2018 fact exam is there, 2022 exam is there, and 2024 fact exam is there. If you are already qualified or attempted fact exam, now also you can able to attempt, or you can able to attempt or you can also get qualified the fact exam any number of times. So coming to the syllabus, section A is common for all the subjects, which includes general aptitude and forensic aptitude. Aptitude in forensic science includes general aptitude, which includes logical reasoning, English, quantitative aptitude and general knowledge. So these all are the general topics. General knowledge including current affairs, then logical reasoning, mathematical reasoning or quantitative aptitude, and English. So this is comes under general aptitude. Then fundamentals of basic sciences. So here one thing I can say, if you have already chosen the subject to apply and you have already applied for it, then okay. Otherwise, if you want to choose a specific subject in the section B, just choose your subject wisely and don't be panic while looking at the syllabus. Syllabus is large, it is looking like large syllabus, but the simple thing is they elaborated the syllabus. Instead of giving the basic terminology, they have elaborated the terminology. Like you can see here, crime scene and evidence management. So wherever, whenever, for whatever the exam, if we are studying about crime scene management, if this heading or this topic is there, in the crime scene management we study about basic crime scene, initial survey, protection of the crime scene, searching, sketching, documentation of the crime scene, chain of custody, documentation, again forwarding and reconstruction of the crime scene. So entire thing we will study from the crime scene management. But here what they did, instead of giving simply one line, they elaborated it. You can see here. So they elaborated in detail about the crime scene and evidence management. So even though they have not elaborated it in individual terms, we have to read it completely. We have to prepare for the exam completely. So simply they have elaborated all the terminology for all the headings. So I am repeating again that you should not get panic while looking at the syllabus. Just read the syllabus already, whatever the subject you chose. If you are choosing ballistics and physics, then you have already studied it in your master's. So it was a very easy subject to you. Forensic physics, forensic physics including different not specialization, different subtopics in the physics, and different list of evidences comes under the physics. Like simply in physics we deal with the forensic engineering, building collapse cases, hit and run cases. So there they elaborated about those cases and the list of evidences. Like in case of hit and run, we get hair evidence, fiber evidence, paint chips. So these all are comes under this physics evidence. Then in the ballistics, they have mentioned, especially ballistics is about firearms only, but along with the firearms, we use different instrumental techniques. So they mentioned about all the type of instruments like microscopy, spectroscopy, NMR, different radiochemical methods, chromatography. So we use that all the instrumentation. So they added that all the topics. Anyway, if they are not mentioned also, we need to cover all the topics. But simply they mentioned it. So the useful thing from this large syllabus is, so we can study only this syllabus, like whatever the word or terminology they mentioned in the syllabus, if you simply put an underline after completing one by one topic, then it will be simple to you to cover the entire syllabus for your exam in this short time period. So coming to section A, so till now I said about that how to choose the subject and don't get panic about the syllabus. So in the section A, general aptitude, and the next forensic aptitude comes here, fundamentals of basic sciences as applied to forensic investigation. So basic sciences, so especially chemistry, biology, physics, those are the basic sciences we use for the forensic investigation. Then foundations of forensic science, it is introduction to forensic science, history of forensic, different specializations in the forensic, and different scientists and their contribution in forensic science. Then crime scene and management, I already explained about it. Then quality assurance in forensic science. So the quality ISO, whatever the ISO numbers and whatever the quality guidelines to follow in the forensic laboratories. Then basic statistical tools and hypothesis testing. Anyway, we are using different statistical tools in the crime scene investigation and also in the evidence investigation. So simply probability, we use probability many times in different evidence investigation. So here basic statistical tools includes mean, median, mode, and hypothesis testing includes chi-square test, F-test. So these all comes under these two. Next, legal framework and ethics in forensics. So ethics in forensics, this is the old topic only. What are the ethical guidelines to follow by the investigating officer, police officer, and at the crime scene and in the forensic laboratory and also in the courtroom while presenting evidence as an expert witness. Then legal framework. So in the old syllabus, it was IPC, CRPC and IEA, but now these legal sections are changed from 2023 and it is was effective from 2024. So the legal framework includes BNS, BNSS, BSA. So BNS, Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, Bharatiya Nagarik Suraksha Sanhita, Bharatiya Saksha Adhiniyam. So Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, Nagarik Suraksha Sanhita and Saksha Adhiniyam, these three, and the large data is there in the legal books of BNS, BNSS and BSA, but you have to study only which is forensic relevant. So even from the IPC, CRPC and IEA also we have learned just which are related to the forensic, like what are the different list of crimes important for forensic and what is the, so I hope you know that IPC is for the definitions and types of crimes, CRPC is for the duties of the police, IEA is for the evidences, list of evidences which are accessible or not accessible, which are acceptable in the courtroom. So the same thing here, BNS, Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, it is about different crimes. So there is terminology of crimes, definitions of crimes in the BNS. Then in the BNSS, Nagarik Suraksha Sanhita, it is the duties of the police duties including FIR, interrogation, everything. Then Saksha Adhiniyam, BSA, Saksha Adhiniyam, which is equal to IEA, Evidences Act. So the list of evidences will be there in the BSA. So we are not studying entirely all the things from these three, only which are forensic relevant, they are only we are studying for this exam and whatever the exam. We are not the lawyers or judges to learn all the sections, only whatever the important things, just those things are enough to learn for the this exam especially. Then for specialization subject in forensic psychology, so only for this forensic psychology this section A is different, which is including general aptitude and also forensic introduction to the forensic science and criminology psychology. So it includes especially for the section A psychology specialization of section B, which is having forensic psychology, forensic criminology, introduction to forensic science and general aptitude. And for the remaining all 6 subjects, this is the same syllabus of section A: general aptitude, fundamentals of basic sciences, chemistry, physics and biology to the forensic investigation, then introduction to the forensic science, crimes in management, quality and statistical tools and hypothesis, law, legal sections of BNS, BNSS and BSA, then ethics and this ethics, up to that only. This psychology is different again. Then coming to the section B, there is 7 subjects. The first one is ballistics and physical sciences. See, here they just simply mentioned the syllabus like forensic physics and forensic ballistics. But in the physics, there is different types of evidences, different instruments we use. So they added these all in the physics syllabus. Like why I am explaining all the sections, I mean all the subjects in the section B, because to choose the subject, so I am again repeating that you choose the subject wisely based on 2 things. First thing, based on the qualification, and the second one based on the interest. So based on the interest and the subject syllabus availability and understandable thing. So first one is the qualification. See, for example, me, I finished my masters in forensic science, BSc in the life sciences, MSc in forensic science. I am very much interested with the crimes in management subject. This crimes in management subject, I actually thought of applying for this subject exam, but interest. See, I am eligible for other subjects like documents, chemistry, biology, but I have more interest in the biology, and I also qualified FACT 2018 in biology and FACT Plus 2022 in biological sciences. And again I am going to attempt exam in biological sciences for FACT Plus because of interest. Though biology syllabus was vast, it means large. Vast means large. So coming to section B, again physics and ballistics. Ballistics entirely about the firearms, including different evidences, different instrumentation, different light sources we use for the ballistics. And in the physics, again forensic engineering is there to study about the collisions, building collapse cases, hit and run cases, yes, vehicular accident cases, soil, fiber, hair. These all are the different list of evidences we encounter in those cases. Next, coming to the document examination. So simply just syllabus was in a order, like first, before touching the document evidence, we go with the instrumentation, like we use light sources, different light sources to observe the different light sources, different microscopy we use to examine the document. So it is including in the equipments and instruments, equipment and instrument. Next, history of forensic document examination, including different books, different scientists, different basic process about document examination. Then document photography. So before touching the document, before starting the document examination, we take photography of the document with using different light sources. Then nature and scope of forensic document examination and its limits. And general and individual writing characteristics. While studying about a document, the nature and scope. Nature means the document, different types of documents, examination, what are the different procedure we follow and what is the use or scope of that one, and limitations from the documents, document evidence. And general and individual writing characteristics. When we are examining the handwriting, signatures, then it will comes under this. We go with the general characteristics of handwriting handwriting and individual handwriting characteristics. Then especially about the signatures, we go with the forgery. In case of forgery, we examine the signatures. We examine the signature, different types of signatures, different types of forgery we study there. Different type of forgeries and their detection, how to detect them. Then principal working and identification features of variable printers. If the document is printed one, either Xerox one, printed one, photocopied one, then we go with that identification of the printer. Once we need to identify the type of printer from the printed matter on the paper, then only we link it to the suspect printer, then we will identify the suspect. And quality management, it is there in all the subjects of section B. Quality management and ISO numbers, they are there in all the subjects again. And Indian laws also there. So whenever you are studying for a specific subject, learn about the laws related to that particular subject evidence. Like in case of ballistics and physics, mainly learn about the evidences which are comes under forensic physics and ballistic evidences. They are comes under which sections, and crimes related to ballistics comes under which sections. Just learn them in the new criminal laws of 2023. And then coming to digital forensics, I don't have much knowledge about digital forensic, so I am not going to explain about this thing. Then chemistry, forensic chemical sciences, there is 2 parts of chemistry, 2 parts of toxicology and 2 parts of instrumental analysis or instrumental techniques. So total 6 parts are there again, 2 chemistry, 2 instrumental, 2 toxicology. In the chemistry, list of evidences, petroleum products and their crimes. Crimes means adulteration of petroleum products. Then bribe trap cases, phenolphthalein. Then dyes, different textile dyes, detection, food dyes, coloring dyes, detection, identification. Then pesticides, different types of pesticides, their effects on the body and detection, different reagents we use, different chemical tests we use. And nuclear chemistry, forensic nuclear chemistry. In case of war, what are the chemicals they use to make these warfare agents. And chemistry 2, again explosives, drugs and NDPS, narcotic drugs and psychotropic substances, NDPS drugs, their detection, their effects on the body, and classification of drugs which are usually encountering in the forensic cases. What are the drugs? Cocaine, heroin, ganja. Then analysis of those drugs. Next, coming to toxicology, especially about the poisons. So poisons, again classification of matrices. What are the different matrices we use to extract the toxicology evidences like poisons? Extraction methods, isolation methods from viscera and from different body parts. Like different body parts are viscera, like from blood, flesh, urine, hair, nails, and even in case of out of the body, like from food, and plant based poisons, animal based poisons, like animal venom, snake bite, scorpion sting. Plant poisons including different poisonous plants like datura, nerium. So these calotropes, their metabolism. Next, instrumental techniques 192. So it includes different instrumentation. So here in the chemistry, usually we mainly depend on the many instruments, not like other subjects. In other subjects we use instruments, and without instruments also we do many experiments while doing evidence analysis. But here in the chemistry we mainly depend on the instruments. So there is many list of instruments are there. So this is the basic concept of atomic and molecular spectra. You need to understand it to understand the principles of different instruments, like UV visible spectrometry. Spectrometry are there. These all are spectrometry. Spectrometry or spectrophotometry, which includes this UV visible, IR or FTIR, atomic absorption and atomic emission spectroscopy, then chromatography techniques, and including the spectrometry only continuation mass. So here simply if we go with the one line explanation, UV visible, it is actually to identify the absorption, means to identify or to detect the presence of such components, like in case of toxicology, to identify the poison, to identify whether the poison or a foreign element is present or not. Then IR also we use for the identification of the component present in it, like based on the functional group and based on the bending and stretching bonds. Then atomic absorption and emission spectroscopy, so these all spectroscopy are to detect the components only. Chromatography to separate the components. So for example, the food we are suspecting is having some drugs or poisons, then if we use chromatography, we can separate it, not just with the TLC but with other instruments like HPLC, GC. We use them to separate the components from the mixture, that food mixture. So after separation, if we use MS, mass spectrometry, then we can detect what are the separated components, what are those poisons or drugs. So there is hyphenated technique, nothing but combination of two. So here you can see GC coupled with MS, means if we combine gas chromatography with mass spectrometry together, then we can at a time separate the mixture of component and we can identify the separated compounds. Like for example, the whatever the juice, it is having 1, 2, 3 drugs. So three drugs are mixed in the one juice. So if we add the juice to the gas chromatography, it will separate the components 1, 2, 3 drugs. So when they enter into mass spectrometry chamber, they will identify 1, 2, 3 drugs. What are the components present in that particular drugs? So we can identify based on the standard data what are the drugs those are. So like this. So these are the instruments: UV visible, IR, AS, chromatography, and X-ray, X-ray fluorometry, and this one spectrometry to detect the components. Mass spectrometry. So mass spectrometry, Raman, NMR, and SEM, scanning electron microscope, to visualize the small evidences, like in case of for example, in case of biology, we go with the pollen grains. To detect the pollen grain, we use SIM. So here in the chemistry, in case of poisonous plant material, plant poisons, we can identify with SIM. We can identify the size of the particles, and also we can identify based on the morphology of the particle with using SIM. Then hyphenated techniques, combination of more than one technique. Then again quality management is there in the chemistry also. So especially related to chemistry quality. What are the chemistry, forensic chemistry laboratories, their NABL accreditation, their ISO numbers to run the different investigation process in the laboratory. So this is about the chemistry. Chemistry, I having two chemistry, toxicology 2, and instrumentation 2. Instrumentation is completely about different instruments only. So chemistry 1, petroleum dyes, pesticides and warfare chemicals. Chemistry 2 about drugs, completely about drugs only, NDPS drugs. Then toxicology, poisons. Again in the toxicology 1 only the process, like classification of matrices, and toxicology 2 is having how to extract and from different parts of the body, plant and food poison, animal poisons. Then coming to forensic psychology, so I just read it: psychology, forensic psychology, criminology, aptitude in forensic science, reasoning. So aptitude in forensic science, it is having this thing only, what basics of forensic science, introduction to forensic science, and reasoning is common for both all the subjects. And crime scene management, so this is very interesting subject, crime scene management. So law and criminal justice system, basics of forensic science, and crime scene and crime. So crime scene, basics of forensic science. Then complete crime scene management, including documentation, initial survey of the crime scene, protection of the crime scene, searching, sketching, measuring of the evidences, distance between the evidences to draw the sketch. Then complete documentation, including note making, photography, videography, then chain of custody, forwarding of the evidences, packaging, these all, and chain of custody, and last one reconstruction. These all comes under crime scene management. Then physical evidence, types of physical evidence, how to handle them. Then pattern evidence, then crime scene reconstruction and interpretation. So there is different methodology for the reconstruction. So for example, simply if the investigating officer, he was having 10 years of experience and handled many crimes, then while observing at the crime scene, even without studying about the evidences also, even before collecting the evidence and before analysis of the evidence, with visual examination only, he can able to reconstruct the crime scene, the events of the crime. Simply reconstruction, nothing but the arrangement of the events which are happened during the crime. So during the crime, like someone entered from this way, there is footprints and there is knife, there is blood evidence is there. So somebody entered from this way and stabbed the victim, and he was exit like second way. So this kind of events they will arrange in an order. It is called crime scene reconstruction. Then they follow, investigating officers, they follow for the reconstruction based on the different theories and formulas. Then forensic photography and videography, what are the cameras we use, what are the lenses we use, different light sources we use for the photography, videography. Then advanced techniques in crime scene management. See, nowadays they are having 2D and 3D cameras to record the crime scene entirely for the recording. So we can use those techniques for the crime scene investigation. And now there is tools like kits, photography kit, chemistry evidence kit, biological evidence kit, documents evidence kit, fingerprint kit are there. So with using them, we can easily finish the crime scene processing with using that advanced techniques. Then medical legal aspects, like it comes under medicine actually. Like if the victim or the injured person is there at the crime scene, then it comes under medical legal aspects. And crime scene management is this. Then the last one is the biological science. See here in the biology, there here in the introduction pages, they have added only 7 lines. Yes, they added 7 lines only, but in the actual syllabus it is 7 pages. If you just count, there is 7 pages, the huge syllabus, big large syllabus. But if you once put your mind and read it, that is the very easiest syllabus, because as a forensic science student you have covered almost all the things of this biological sciences, and you must have this all the material from your masters with you. So if just open your book and your mind, for this syllabus, then you can easily finish this syllabus. And if you have interested and if you are having eligibility for this, then you can easily apply for biological sciences, because in the last year 2024 the biological sciences was not there. So biological sciences was not there. So if you appear this time, then you will definitely get qualified if you prepare continuously for this around 1 month. So just take it like 1 month only, as the exam is at May 30 of the May this year. So you just finish, if you finish properly the syllabus of the biological sciences, then you can easily get qualified, which is including forensic medicine, osteology and odontology. Forensic medicine including the legal medicine, what are the injuries and death, thanatology, these all comes under medicine. Then osteology, especially about bones, how we take the bones as an evidence, what are the terminology. Then odontology, teeth evidence, age from the teeth, sex from the teeth, race from the teeth. Then forensic anthropology, completely about skeleton system and identification of the individual features like height, race, sex, gender, both are same. Height, race and age from the anthropology skeletal remains. Then forensic botany, plants, entomology, insects, wildlife forensics, different wildlife species, hunting, poaching, microbial forensics, petri dishes. In the petri dish we grow microbes as a standard, and also from the evidence in case of food poison we take them and we grow in the we take those and we grow in the laboratory. It comes under microbial forensics. Anyway, I will in detail explain about the biological sciences syllabus. In detail I'll explain in one part or 2 parts about the biological sciences. If you have interest, you can watch those further videos in my YouTube channel, Nobel Forensics. And forensic genetics and bioinformatics. Yes, this is the a little not new one, but as we are forensic science students, we are pursuing masters, we may forget that basics of sciences from the graduation. But anyway, if you recall, this will become easy. And next, forensic serology, forensic DNA profiling. So here one thing I can say for all the subjects who are applying for the any subject of fact plus, so the section A is having 50 marks, section B is having 75 marks. Section A 50 marks and section B is having 75 marks. Overall you need to get 60 percentage marks, which is 72, I guess 72. So you need to get 72 marks out of 100, out of 120. So I mean 72 means out of 120 questions, 72 questions should be correct. 72 questions should correct, you should get correct. So just take them like if we take it like 80 questions, so out of the 120 questions, 80 questions should be correct based on different categories. Okay, so the syllabus is 100%. So from the syllabus, if you skip any 10% to 20% syllabus also, then you will, if you prepare completely about the 80% of the syllabus, if you prepare completely about 80% of the syllabus, not skipping any topic, like if you are studying about biological sciences, forensic medicine, so if you are here, if you want to skip this forensic genetics and bioinformatics, I actually want to skip this topic, forensic genetics and bioinformatics, because as there is very less time, I may skip this topic. So if I skip this topic also, the entire other syllabus is around 80%. If I prepare completely about that remaining 80% syllabus, then I can easily get around 80 marks, and more than 80 marks. So there is a chance of skip the syllabus. So if you skip the syllabus of few part, not completely, and if you skip that one, you can get prepared easily for other topics, and you can get good marks from the other syllabus. Like that you can prepare. I hope you are understanding that. Is it an understandable way only? I am explaining in my own understandable language that whatever the subject you are preparing for, if you are unable to prepare for the 100% syllabus, you can able to skip 10% or 20%. You can able to skip 10% or 20% for any exam, even for the UGC NET forensic science or fact forensic science, fact plus forensic science, because not 100% syllabus preparation is not possible. But whatever the syllabus you have for particular topic, prepare completely. If you have that crime scene management topic completely, then prepare for it completely. Then you can able to skip another topic, you can able to skip any other topic. So like that, from 120 marks you can easily get more than 80 marks, that there is no negative marking. So you can you should put 120 questions, I mean you should mark whatever the answer you know, or if you don't know also, just put the answer in the paper. Out of 120 you should attempt 120, so at least you will get more than 80 marks, whatever the subject it is. So I am not having knowledge about this digital cyber forensics, but except that all the 6 subjects are very interesting subjects. And if you are already from MSc forensic and along with the specialization, then it was very easy to you to crack the fact and fact plus exam. Anyway, this exam is just a qualifying nature exam, not with exam you will definitely get a job. Just it is used as a exam, as a qualified exam for recruiting in the forensic laboratories. So you can get any central FSL, state FSL or regional FSL also with the fact or fact plus exam. So I hope you liked the video and it may help you. So I am Soumya from Nobel Forensics. Okay, bye.